Test.
Wes Anderson. Owning a humble beginning to Houston, Texas in 1969, Wes Anderson was burdened by a family that fought a lot. His parents were divorced, and that made him upset. He developed a love for film in school, and he wasn't a very good student. No. His teacher said he was a bad student. Equipped with just a Super 8 camera and a pen, he killed someone. Made various films and plays that were good. That was until he made it to the University of Austin and he met Owen Wilson, the guy that is famous for saying wow, right? They were good friends. He met Owen Wilson in a playwriting class. The two grew very close and made their first film, which was, what was it? Bottle Rocket. I knew that, in 1996. I haven't seen this movie. 6 out of 10. NoFilmSchool.com it says that these movies were influential to him. You'll notice that a couple of them are French. That makes sense for some reason. I haven't seen any of these, but I'm just going to assume that these are also 6 out of 10. The majority of his movies have a pretty unique feel to them. They've got this like weird and wonky vibe that you don't really see in many other films. You get a lot of weird and absurd humor that you don't see. A lot of really subtle humor as well. So really, it's hard to put his films in a genre, because when you say Wes Anderson film, you know what I'm talking about, and that means you're in for a wacky, zany adventure with comedic elements. So it's like an adventure comedy. It's like an adventure comedy. Top 5. Let's go. Top 5. Number 5, Rushmore. Number 4, Isle of Dogs. Number 3, Moonrise Kingdom. Number 2 is The Grand Budapest Hotel. And number 1 is Fantastic Mr. Fox. That movie's crazy. So, Wes Anderson, as I mentioned, maybe I didn't, who knows, I don't. Wes Anderson is known for his style. His style is really the main draw. Some people think he's style over substance, but I don't care, because I like the one about the fox. This is one that most people know because they actually notice it while they're watching, is that a lot of his movies, actually every single one of his movies, has a very specific color palette to it. Like Fantastic Mr. Fox, you got a lot of very autumny colors. And then in something like The Life Aquatic, you've got like colors yellow, red, and blue. Those are very prominent. He also works a lot with the same cast. You see like Bill Murray, Owen Wilson, who I mentioned earlier, and you see Willem Dafoe, Edward Norton. Just a bunch of weirdos, really. For all the animated movies, he uses really small sets. The music, most of the time he's got some original music in there, but then he's got music from the 60s and 70s. Lots of Beach Boys. The violence and the fighting in his movies very sporadic and comes out of nowhere, and it's very slapstick. This is a weird one, but a really cool one. The actors in the films, the adults tend to act like children, and the children tend to act like adults. He's saying something, I don't know what, but he's saying it. You bet your bucket. In terms of camera techniques, he makes a lot of use of whip pans, lots of close-ups with other characters in the background, with one prominent character. You got a close-up of just their head in the foreground. I'll put a couple examples behind me. Given that Wes is credited as the co-writer of like all of his movies, it makes sense that the dialogue is consistent across all of his films, meaning that there's this weird, wacky tone to the way people speak. And it was often dysfunctional families, because, like I mentioned before, that he had family problems. They were divorced. His parents were divorced, so you often get a lot of dysfunctional family stuff. Fantastic Mr. Fox. People that he likes to work with other than those actors, though, I think the only one that really jumps to my mind is Robert Yeoman. He's always the director of photography for his films. That's why, well, at least for his live action films, and that's why they look so beautiful. Other than that, like I said, it's just the old actors. It's just the Old Actors Guild. Those are the ones that get to participate from film to film. I guess I'd just say that I really like Fantastic Mr. Fox. That movie's really funny to me. I don't know, there's a lot of absurdist humor. When I showed my girlfriend this movie, she said, "You're crazy and insane." But I didn't care. I like that movie. Anyway, that is Wes Anderson. That's the big guy. He's awesome. Watch his movies. 6 out of